we are going to break down one of the most confusing and misunderstood aspects of health and wellness: fat versus muscle. I mean, to this day, I have women report to me how much weight they've lost. And I ask them, what kind of weight? And they go, huh? Like the little dog. What? And it's because we're still so stubbornly married to that number on the scale. And it is the worst thing for being able to age strong, because aging strong, as we know, means building muscle. And muscle, it weighs something too. So if you've ever felt discouraged or unmotivated or demotivated by what that number in the little window says, this video's for you. Let's talk about that scale. Most of us were raised to believe that weight is the ultimate measure of health. Even the BMI that is so stubborn to stay in our medical records, it's just measuring all of your mass. And so at the height of my bodybuilding competition, when I was 10% body fat, and I would go to the doctor and I would weigh and take my height and they put it in the computer, I would come back with borderline obese on the BMI scale. And then, of course, I would get an email that was automated that said, I need to eat more fruits and vegetables and have a better diet and exercise more. I was 10% body fat, squatting 200 pounds, and it's like, it was ridiculous. And that was when I really realized, oh, wow, it isn't just our old concept of what healthy weight is. It's reinforced by Medicine 2.0. They haven't upgraded yet to measure body fat versus muscle mass. And that is still in the future, hopefully soon. So let's talk about that scale for a minute. Most of us were raised to believe that the weight on the scale is the ultimate measurement for health, but it's not. It is only telling you the relationship of your body mass to the center of the earth. Gravity. Gravity doesn't distinguish what your mass is made of. So don't hate gravity. It never judges you. Think about this. If two people, both weighing 160 pounds, one with a high body fat percentage and low muscle mass, and the other lean and strong, same weight, completely different health picture. That's why the weight on the scale is one little number that tells nothing about your healthy longevity. It is the least important thing to track for your long-term health. I know that sounds controversial, but hear me out. Here's the reason. Muscle is much denser than fat. A pound of muscle takes up less space than a pound of fat. This means that as you gain muscle and lose fat, the scale might not move at all, or just a little bit one way or the other. And you're lifting weights, you're eating right, and it can be very confusing if you're only looking at that number. But your body shape, your energy, your strength, those change dramatically. So when I tell clients that they feel firmer and stronger and their pants are fitting better and the scale hasn't budged, that's not a plateau. That is progress. One of my favorite stories about this is from a client who was in her late 60s. She was walking every day, getting her 10,000 steps in. Great. And she was eating clean. Great. But frustrated because her weight barely changed. We added in strength training and put a weighted vest on her when she did her walks. And oh my goodness, within 6 weeks, her posture improved, her energy was up, her waist was down 2 inches, and she looked and felt like a new woman. But she'd only lost 3 pounds on the scale. That's because, of course, you can guess, looking at it from a distance, she gained muscle while losing fat, and that rebalanced her body composition. But on the scale, it was pretty close to the same. So while she was setting herself up for longevity, stability, and independence, If she didn't know better, she would be thinking, well, all this weightlifting isn't helping me at all. As we age, our bodies stop sending strong signals to build and to grow. We reach a cruising altitude somewhere in our 30s, followed by a gradual descent. The angle and the speed of that descent is governed by hormonal and metabolic signals. And where do those signals come from? It's from the stuff you do or don't do. So, left to its own devices, the body will just naturally lose muscle mass. And you see that all the time when you see an older person that's frail and weak and have brittle bones and are just can't take care of themselves, or they don't have very much independence. That is the body left to its own devices. The flip side of that is when you strength train, it's as if your body says, oh, we're being asked to do something here. It's hard and physical. Whew, this is work. Okay, let's make some adjustments. Let's hang on to some of that muscle. Let's keep those bones calcified, because I don't know what Janet is going to ask from me next. Oh, here comes some even harder work. Okay, you better give me more protein. You better give me more calories. You better give me more sleep. If you're going to ask this of me, but I'll come through for you. I will build more muscle to support you. I will keep your bones calcified to support you. It's a conversation. So you get the idea. Your body is responding to you. It is very responsive to the experiences that you offer it. If you don't offer it new experiences, that's fine with that. Easy street. Let's just sit in the lounge chair and waste away. But it will also steadily and predictably adjust to all of the things you're asking it to do to get stronger. And the added benefit, of course, is that more muscle protects your joints better by doing the work instead of sloughing off the work to your joints. This helps you stay independent, improves your insulin sensitivity, which is a barrier to getting diabetes, and even boosts brain health through brain-derived neurotropic factor that comes rushing in and gives your brain the right environment to keep growing and to stay resilient. This is something I want everyone listening who is over 50 to hear this. Muscle isn't anymore just for awesome looks. It does look awesome. That's not why you're doing it. It's your metabolic armor. Armor for battle. For your heroic journey, you need armor. You need resilience. You need longevity. And you need a body that's going to support you for the long road ahead. So, if not the scale, what are we supposed to track, Janet? You're taking the scale away, then how do I know I'm making progress in the way you're describing? I'm all ears. Okay, so here it is. How your clothes fit. Is the belt getting a little looser? Are the sleeves fitting a little better, or maybe tight around the bicep and shoulder, but overall it's feeling nice and smooth? Your energy and your strength are getting stronger. I really noticed that, especially after a recent setback. I got so weak and tired so quickly. And now that I have my habits back in place and I'm able to regain my strength, I just feel so much more energized, and it's like a thing of the past, feeling that weakness. Another one is body measurements, mainly waist and hips, because the waist and the hips are the area most overall across the human race where we store extra fat tissue. So that's where it's going to come off first if you're gaining muscle and losing fat. And the final one, which is a really cool one if you have access to it, is a way to measure your body fat percentage. I know there are electrical impedance scales where you can get on. They are not super accurate, but if you use the same scale every time, you can track the losses and the gains on that same device, give you an indicator. So if your muscle mass is starting to go up on that scale, it's headed in the right direction. Even better than that is the egg or the bod pod. It's a device you get inside of, and it measures everything very accurately. They use that in the NFL and professional athletes because they have access to all the latest equipment, and it is available to us, but it takes some doing, takes some searching, and it usually costs some. But that's kind of like a spectrum of how you can measure body fat percentage. There's also the little pinch test. There's the little caliper devices. Those are also good as long as the same person measures you and they use the same device every time. So rather than the actual percentage being accurate, because there are some inefficiencies around how hydrated you are, things like that, which can throw the numbers off. But if it's the same time every week and you measure with the same person and the same calipers, you can see it go up or down. And so that at least gives you something that's better than the number on the scale. And it's free. So if you are strength training and you are on your path, kudos to you. But the scale hasn't moved. So what? It may even edge up a pound or two. Don't panic. As long as if your waist isn't getting bigger and your belt is still fitting and you've gained a couple pounds, think about it. Why would that be? What is the kind of tissue on your body that takes up less space? It's your muscles. So your body might be doing something incredible under the surface. Revisit the tracking points I've shared with you for personal confirmation and focus on building muscle, fueling your body, and feeling strong. If you found this information helpful, share it with somebody else who needs to hear it. Give me a like and subscribe and comment below. What is your progress? Is there something I've talked about today that I need to clarify further that you want more information on, or some other aspect of muscle versus fat that's got you going, I wonder what she means by that. Tell me more. Tell me in the comments. I will respond to you. Remember, age happens. Strength is on purpose.